If we have a capacitor having charge which is sigma, and other side minus sigma, then what would be the force between the plates? The force between the plates will be obtained by simply electrostatic pressure formula. Electrostatic pressure. What is the formula for electrostatic pressure? Sigma square by 2 epsilon naught. And what will be the force? Force will become sigma square by 2 epsilon naught multiplied by area of the plates. That is the force between the plates of the capacitor. If you don't remember the formula for electrostatic pressure, there is another way to arrive at the result. We can think in this way that we have to find force due to the other plate, fill due to the other plate multiplied by charge on one plate. Charge on one plate into the fill due to the other plate. For example, charge on the positive plate into fill due to the negative plate. That will be force. We can find by that method also. What is this? Sigma into area. And what is the fill due to the negative plate? Which is nothing but sigma square by 2 epsilon naught into area. Have you understood this? This is the force. Next. Energy stored in capacitor. Formula for energy stored in capacitor.
Half CV square.
Half CV square. How do we get it? If the potential difference is at any instant of time, let us say it has charge small q and it has minus q, and we are bringing charge slowly from minus q plate to the positive q plate. What work we have to do? If you are bringing charge slowly from negative to positive side, I am saying we are bringing slowly, then work that we have to do will be
distance between them into poles.
dq into v. What is the work done? You know that work done is equal to charge into potential difference. You know this formula or not? If you don't remember this, we can start one step before it. We can say this, everybody knows, force into displacement, right? Work done is equal to force into displacement. This everybody knows. So force into displacement, what will be the displacement? Displacement will be this d distance. And what will be the force? dq into e into d distance. That will be the work done. Small work because it is only for
v.
E into t equals to v, sir.
df, I can say only force acting on the small dq element only. So it is not the network. Network will be when we will integrate over. And dq e into d is v. You know that or not? Electric field into d is v. Right. So also we know that q is equal to c into v. Capacitance into v. Is the capacitance changing in the process of transferring the charge? Let us check. Capacitance depends on epsilon naught a d, which remains constant. Dimensions remain constant. So capacitance is not changing. It means I can write dq is equal to c is like a constant for me, c into dv. Then I can write V into C into dV. This is work done. Then integrate it. What will be work done? C into V dV. The potential, let us say, goes from 0 to final potential V. Then what it would be? Half CV
Half
square.
CV square.
We are getting work done by external force is equal to half CV square. But we also know that work done should be equal to change in potential energy. There is no change in kinetic energy. We are bringing the charge slowly and we are just keeping it on the other plate. There is just change in potential energy. So I can say the final potential energy of the capacitor becomes what?
Half CV square.
Half CV square. Exactly right. This is the final potential energy formula. Half CV square. Now, in this half CV square, we can write it in three ways. One way is half CV square. Another way will be half
Q
into
into V.
Q into V, and third way will be half into Q square by C. The reason is because we can
CV
replace
equals
V by Q by C, or we can replace C into V as
C is
Q.
equals to
C is
C into
Q.
V equals to Q.
C into V is equal to U. Using this formula, we are able to write in these terms. Okay. Using this formula. So important relation, U is equal to half CV square, and potential is told we can get in this way. Next, if we have let us say work done by the battery. I think we discussed already before what is work done by battery. Battery has potential difference V, or V is the potential difference across the battery terminals. Then work done by the battery will be nothing but, you remember or not? It means we can suppose we are changing the charge which is supplied by the battery. We can think that we are bringing this charge from the negative terminal to the positive terminal, and we are increasing its potential by V. We can think like that. So therefore, work done by battery can be written as Q into V. Again, very important relation. Work done by battery. And if we have these two relations, then we can write something called as work energy theorem. Work energy theorem. What does work energy theorem state? It states that work done by
Work done final minus work done
external force plus work done by battery. See, battery can also do work. Work done by external force plus work done by battery can be equal to change in potential energy plus heat energy dissipated. Some heat energy may dissipate in the circuit, so it may be equal to some of these two. Normal work energy theorem, which you remember from the earlier classes, you know that we used to write in this way: net work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. That change in kinetic energy also we could add here if you want. If something, but in circuit normally the circuit remains stationary and the kinetic energy is not changed. Although that may not be always the case. I may get situation where kinetic energy may change. For example, let me give you an example you will understand probably. Let's say I have A, and I can have a circuit in which battery is not there, or I can have a single isolated capacitor which is acting as a circuit In all these cases, this above equation will be applicable. If I take a dielectric here and bring it near it, what do you think will happen to the dielectric? If you want to find out what happens to the dielectric,
It will go inside.
why will it go inside?
Induced charges.
Due to induced. Actually, this is like uncharged body. This is charged body. We know charged body can attract uncharged body by inducing some charges. So this positive which is here, it will induce negative charge closer to its surface here, and which is negative. This side maybe positive will be induced. This positive will be attracted towards negative, and negative will be attracted towards positive. So uncharged body. This is uncharged body, and we have already discussed it before that uncharged body may be attracted by the charged body. Yes, it is true. It will be pulled inside. There will be force on it. So while it gets pulled inside, it may gain kinetic energy also. It is possible. We can have this gain in kinetic energy. So work done by external agent. Is there any external agent here? If somebody is applying force outside, then that person can be acting as external agent. Battery is not there. If person is applying force in such a way that he is just letting it move slowly. If he is letting it move slowly, then what will become 0? Delta K will become 0. Battery is already not there. This will become 0. And if he is moving, if he is moving it slowly, then there will be no heat energy dissipated also. There will be no heat energy dissipated, and work done by external agent will be just equal to change in potential energy. Okay. Depending upon the situation, we may have any of these, some of these or all of these terms, depending upon the situation. Anyway, if work done, if the charge enters the positive terminal, then work done by battery will be minus Q into V. That will be working. And one more thing I want you to tell. This misconception you should not have that heat will be dissipated only if there is some resistance in the network. Heat will be dissipated even if we are having just conducting wires. Then also heat energy will be dissipated. We can take an example, one simple example, simplest example, which will clarify this. I have a capacitor which is directly connected now. You tell what would be the energy stored in the capacitor after switch is closed. What would be energy stored in the capacitor after the switch is closed? Can you tell what it would be?
Capacitance of the capacitor.
Capacitance is C.
Half CV square.
Half CV square will be the energy. And what will be work done by the battery? How much charge it will supply?
No
Q.
charge.
QV.
Q, sir.
The circuit
Q
is
is equal to CV. So work done by battery is clearly QV means Q into V. That will be CV square.
square.
But potential energy stored will become
Half CV square.
where the remaining energy goes. Is there any kinetic energy gaining here? Is there any
No,
element gaining kinetic energy? No. All elements are at rest.
No, sir.
Work done by external agent. Nothing is there. No work external agent. Then we are having this equation remaining. So in this equation, this is CV square, but this is half CV square, means remaining goes to heat.
Half C square.
So don't think there is some resistance, then only heat will be dissipated. Heat may be dissipated even if there is no internal resistance in the battery. It is ideal battery. And these are also conducting wires. Then also heat energy will be dissipated. And the final result is that heat energy we can get in this work done by battery minus delta U will be equal to heat energy produced, which will also be equal to half CV square. Understood?
Yes.
Let me take, before I start, keep on taking more examples. I think one point I will make it here only. After that, I move on to the next things. Here only I can make energy density. Energy stored per unit volume, energy density. What is energy density? Energy density is energy per unit volume, U upon area into D. We can say energy stored between the plates of capacitor. I have discussed before that energy gets stored in the form of field, and field exists only between the plates. Outside field is there, but that is negligible because it is less only, and these plates are very close to each other. So main field will be existing in between. So what is that energy density then? Can you tell? Half CV square upon A into D. I can write half Q into V upon AD,
Energy by volume.
which will be half of sigma into E. V upon D is E or not?
1
Which
by
can,
AC.
which can also be written as, what is sigma value?
EH or not?
I'm writing it as small u, energy density small u. And finally, it comes out to be equal to half epsilon naught E square. Okay. Remember this formula also. Then, while my equation is work done is equal to net change in kinetic energy, some of you may have this confusion why H is coming then. This also somebody may think why this is coming. If you don't remember that this comes from work done by conservative force can be written as minus delta U. And there could be some conservative force which is doing work which will be minus delta U. So that minus delta U from this side it goes to that side, other side. Somebody may have this confusion why H comes. H comes because of work done by non-conservative forces. Work done by non-conservative forces will be equal to heat energy produced. So this also may be there. Okay. Next we have one more example. If I have one plate which is all capacitor plates which are already charged. These were having some initial charge, let us say, and charge is given as Q naught. Now it is connected to battery. What would be the work done now? It is V volt battery, ideal battery. And what will be the amount of heat energy dissipated? We can tell quickly that if initial charge was Q naught, just after closing the switch, what would happen? Final charge has nothing to do with what was the initial charge. What will be final charge? CV. After closing switch. So what is the charge supplied? Charge supplied will be by battery just after closing switch will be equal to final charge minus initial charge. What will be the potential energy? Initial potential energy is half of
Q naught.
Q naught into V. Q naught into half of Q naught square by C. Not V, because V is not the potential at that
Not
time across it.
connected. Yes, sir.
It is some initial potential, and initial charge is given, so I'm writing in terms of charge. If initial V is given, I would write in terms of that. And what is final?
Half
Half
into C
CV
minus Q
square.
naught by C.
Final is half CV square only. Why all these things you are saying? Final potential energy will be dependent on what is the final potential across it, and final potential is V. So half CV square, that is enough.
In terms of charge,
In terms of charge, also same thing. In terms of charge, it will be half of final charge CV
CB into V.
into V. The CV is charge only. What else it is? Now, equation. Bernoulli battery is equal to delta U plus H. What is change? UF minus UI plus heat supplied is equal to Bernoulli battery, which is equal to Bernoulli battery will be CV minus Q naught whole into V. Half of CV square minus Q naught square by C plus H is equal to CV square minus Q naught into V. What is heat energy dissipated? Half CV square plus half Q naught square by C minus
Q naught V.
Q naught into V. This is heat energy dissipated. This result comes out to be in a simplified way. Let me write it in that way. While it is doing some work on it, what work it does? It does the work equal to CV minus Q naught into V, that is CV square minus, right? Potential energy is half Q naught square by C, correct only. This CV square cancels this, it becomes half CV square. That only I think, but I was expecting it to be somewhat simplified. Anyway,
It can be simplified, sir. Half CV minus Q naught whole square by C, sir.
half
Half CV minus Q naught whole square by C.
minus Q naught whole square by
C.
whole
Total, sir, by C. By C. CV minus Q naught whole square for whole, sir. CV minus Q naught whole square.
okay, CV minus Q naught
Whole square.
whole square. Let me check
And
once
C
again.
is individual, sir. Denominator.
I think you got it right then. Half of CV minus Q naught whole square by
By C.
C. Is it that only?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Then yes, I was looking for this only actually. That is right. Fine. Fine. Then I can say what is the heat energy dissipated finally? It is nothing but it is coming out to be equal to half of charge supplied. Charge supplied square divided by C. Finally, it is coming out to be half of the charge supplied square by C. That is equal to heat energy dissipated. Okay. Then you are getting it right only finally. And what is the change in potential energy of the capacitor? Change in potential energy of the capacitor is this half of CV square minus Q naught square by C. Right. Heat energy dissipated is 50% of the work done by the battery. Can we say that? Work done by the battery is CV minus Q naught into V. So it is coming out to be 50% of that is being dissipated in the form of heat energy. Means I could write, this time I could write work done by battery divided by 2. This is equal to work done by battery. Then I can prove from there that change in potential energy is also equal to 50% of work done by the battery. Is that true? Can we write in that way? Change in potential energy is also equal to them. Same as this. Because we are getting ultimately what is our equation? Our equation is work done by battery. And H has this relation. This is equal to work done by battery divided by 2. No, is it work done by battery divided by 2 or not? Let me check once. Charles. No, it is not that right. Sorry. It is not equal to work done by battery divided by 2. It is something else. It is simply half of charge supplied squared divided by C. That I
Yes,
guess
sir.
half of charge supplied squared divided by C I can say, but I cannot say it is work done by battery. That I cannot say.
In that also we got energy stored half Q square by C.
In which I have got energy squared half Q squared by C. In
Half C V square, you can write half Q square by C, na, sir. Like that only there.
Next, we can say in general, if I have a initially uncharged capacitor, if I have initially uncharged capacitor, then how to write the equation? We will think about it. If I have multiple capacitors connected in series, sorry, initial uncharged is normal, usual thing. I wanted to take unusual, initially charged capacitor. If we have some capacitor which was already initially charged, in fact, I can take all the capacitors initially charged. We can think in this way, they were separately connected to some batteries. And there was a switch in between. And we have just opened the switches. We can think in that way. Switch 1. And then switch 2, switch 3. So these were having initial potentials V1, V2, V3. I have taken all in same direction. I want to take V3 opposite side. Let me take it in opposite direction. These are the three capacitors with three switches, S1, S2, and S3. So what we did this thing. S1, S2, and S3 are opened and S is closed at T equal to 0. We close the switch which was open initially, and the other ones which were closed, there we are now. The closed ones we are opening, and the open ones we are closing. We are doing this way. Now, what will happen as a result? Let us say the capacitance was C1, C2, C3. So I can say they were having initial charges now. They are having initial charges, right or not? if they are already having initial charges, first of all, this thing will not be right, which we normally say. We say what we say. We say that if we say that the
Q1.
charge stored in all the capacitors will be same, that will be wrong. That will be wrong. But one thing will still be true. Charge stored may not be same, but charge flown in series will always be same. Let us say Q extra charge V supplies. This battery V supplies what charge now in this? It supplies charge Q. Then what will be charge supplied to all of any of these? It will be same charge being supplied. The charge supplied will be exactly same only. There is no doubt about it. So if it was having some charge initially Q1, what will be its new charge? Q1 plus Q. If it was having Q2, what will be initial now charge? Q2 plus Q. It was having minus Q3. Why minus Q3? Because in this case, negative terminal is connected this side. So let us say this phase was having minus Q3 charge. Then now charge will become minus Q3 plus Q after Q charge gets supplied. Okay. So what would be the new charges stored? New charges stored will be Q plus C1V. For the other, Q plus C2V. And for the third one,
Q minus C3.
Q minus C3V. V1, V2 and V3 in fact. Let us write the KVL equation then. What will be KVL equation at last? KVL equation will become from start with this terminal, this side, earthing terminal. If I start from here and I start going in a clockwise direction, then I get V first, V, and then potential is decreased, and then increased.
Increase.
Okay. No, last time decreased also or increased, we don't know because Q is unknown. Last time we don't know whether increase or decrease. And Q may be more, charge supplied may be more. I am assuming then it is also decreased because this is unknown only. So I can assume, and I told you rule is when we have some unknown charge, assume this side, then that side only we will assume it to be positive. Okay. According to rule, we will follow. Then we are getting V minus Q plus C1 V1 divided by C1 minus Q plus C2 V2 divided by C2 minus Q minus C3 V3 divided by C3 is equal to 0. Then what we get next? We can write it as V minus Q sigma Q by Ci. V minus sigma Q by Ci.
Minus.
Unfortunately, now I cannot write voltages in the same way because of one battery I have taken
One
opposite.
positive. Yes, sir.
One I have taken negative. So for both, for this I will not use summation sign. I will write separately as equal to C1 V1 by C1, that is V1 only, V1 plus V2 minus V3. I have a name for this also. If all these are connected together in series, then I can, okay, just let me write that way only. And then what we get finally? Finally, we are getting it as we wanted to obtain what? We wanted to obtain small q. Small q is unknown here. So I think then I am arranging terms in a wrong way. I could have, okay, anyway, now I am doing it this way. Q will become V minus initial voltage, whatever initial was. That. And where will 1 by Ci go? It will come to denominator, I think. Is it right or not?
Yes.
Sir.
What is 1 by Ci? What
Effective
is 1 by-
resistance. Effective
Effective
resistance in
yes.
series.
1 by
Equivalent
series equivalent.
resistance.
Resistance.
Not resistance, don't say resistance. Oh my god, I said that you could treat 1 by
Capacitance.
Ci like resistance.
It's an equivalent capacitance.
It is series equivalent of capacitance. Don't say it is resistance. Why are you, oh my god, you are completely saying wrong. If you say this thing to somebody else, they will say you are being taught by a stupid teacher. How can it be resistance? Obviously, it is not a resistance. I warned you, don't take it like a resistance. That is just a trick. which we can use for solving the circuits of capacitance if we want to solve those by just using the method of resistance only. But I don't treat it resistance. It is not resistance, obviously. It has different units altogether. It is farad. Capacitance is in farad. Resistance is in ohm. These are not related to each other. Now Q is here. I wanted to say that we can write 1 by CS, 1 by series equivalent is equal to sigma 1 by Ci. So what do we get? Then we get finally CS series equivalent into V minus V1 plus V2 minus V3. That I can. Or I could write simply V final across the total series network. V final across the series network minus V initial across the series network. Initial when the switch was
In 3 or 4
when the switch were in their initial position. That is it. So it is just CSC series into VF minus VI. One more thing I would like to tell you here now. I can replace the charge capacitor can be replaced by an uncharged capacitor. Charged capacitor can be replaced by an uncharged capacitor with ideal battery in series. With ideal battery in series having potential difference same as that across charge capacitor. Charge capacitor can be replaced by an uncharged capacitor with ideal battery in series having potential difference same as that across the charge capacitor. This is some point to be noted.
Printer. Printer. ఆయన printer వేస్తా.
Okay. For example, if I have a charge capacitor like this, having plus minus, and let's say its potential difference across is V, then I could replace it by this is equivalent to uncharged capacitor with potential V connected in series. These both will give us same result while solving these circuits. But if I treat it in this way, then it will be useful for us because we can just, for example, in the last case, what I could have, in last example, or I can say equivalent to last example, equivalent to last equivalent to circuit diagram given in circuit in last question. We have how many batteries we have to connect? 2 batteries and then 1 more battery. Whatever is the potential difference across the capacitor, which is equal to V1, V2, V3. It is a battery which is charging those. That is the potential difference across those capacitors initially. And those three in series, I can treat like C1, C2, and C3 uncharged. I can do like this: C1, C2, and C3 as uncharged. I could take this separately with C1, but in series we can switch the positions. There is no difference, right? So I could bring all the batteries together, and this is the situation in the last example. So if I have to now solve this circuit, it will be so easy. If I have to ask, what is the charge supplied, then answer will be, first you find out the net battery. Net battery becomes what? Net potential difference becomes V is trying to send in this direction. V1, V2 are opposing. V3 is supporting V. So we can write V plus V3 minus V1 plus V2. This is the effective potential difference. And effective capacitance is this connected in series, CS. C series of where CS is nothing but series equivalent, which is equal to 1
sigma by CL.
So what is the charge supply now in this case? It is uncharged now. I have converted it into uncharged. Then the charge supplied Q will be equal to just C series into V plus V3 minus V1 plus V2. Simply that. Not only that, if I ask you what is the heat energy, I can apply work energy theorem also on this circuit only, and that will also give us right result. What will be heat energy supplied? We know in such cases when there is uncharged capacitor, then work done by battery happens to be equal to Q into V effective.
Yes, sir.
V effective is nothing but this whole here.
V1 plus V2.
V net, I am writing it as V net only. And then we can write it as CS into V net square, that is work done by battery. What is the heat energy supplied? Heat energy will potential energy change in potential energy. Now initially I will assume the capacitor to be uncharged in this case, and I can think what is the potential energy change. Okay, delta U I can treat like just
UA minus
half of CS into V net square. And what is the heat energy dissipated? Heat energy dissipated will come out to be work done by battery minus delta U, which will be equal to half C series into V net square. We can get heat energy directly in this. What is the amount of heat energy getting dissipated? So this method will work fine for this because we have proved it already, right? This method will work fine. Where we proved? Here we proved already, then only we are writing it. Without proving, we are not writing. It will work fine for this. Series equivalent will work fine for this case. And it will also work fine for heat energy dissipated as well. Can we find out what is the change potential energy? Because this we have not proved. After this, I did not prove, I just wrote it down directly. Can we really prove it? That what will be the change in potential energy in this network? You can find out what is the charge stored finally. What is the final charge? Understand, final charge will not be Q. It will not be Q because Q is only when we are assuming it to be uncharged capacitor. But actual charge will be what? Actual charge will be whatever was the initial charge, that initial charge plus the charge supplied. So these are the equal actual charges present there. That you should not forget. Don't, after making the equivalent diagram, some students forget that the equivalent diagram gives us only the charge flown in the network. It does not give us the final charge. How to get the final charge stored? Final charge stored we will obtain in this way. The charge flown, the charge supplied, plus initial charge in the battery, in the capacitor. In which side initial charge? In the side in which the charge is entering. So I'm talking about the left sides of all. In the left sides of all capacitors, the Q will be added. And from the right side of all, Q will be subtracted.
You will be subtracted.
Okay. This thing you should keep in mind. What is the final energy stored in the capacitor then? Final energy stored in the capacitor will be equal to obviously half of Q plus C1 V1 whole square by C1.
C1.
That will be final energy, which will be equal to half of Q square, but it will be half of Q square by C1 plus half of second term will be, I think, C1. What second term will be? C1 V1 square. C1 V1 square will be second term plus third term will be, which will be
Half
involving
Q by Q square by
half
Half
C1
Q1
V2
V1.
sir.
Half QV1.
half into
QV1.
by, yes, half into QV1. Last term will be half of Q into V1. This is one term. One term is half of Q square by C1 and one term is half of C1 V1 square. You understand what are these three terms representing? First term is representing
Due to charge Q, sir.
first term is representing energy contribution, let us say, due to the charge Q.
Sir, due to charge Q.
Second term is representing what? Initial?
Initial charge. Initial energy.
Initially, right?
Yes, sir.
This is also actually contribution due to Q only. This third one is also contribution due to Q.
Yes, sir.
So this third one is also contribution due to Q only because initially was this and this totally final. So this third one is also, we can say, contribution due to Q. So it is not just half of Q square by C1, it is coming out to be half of Q square by C1 plus half of Q into V is also there. One contribution is that, which is involving product term. Yes.
The last point was the half Q.
What is not QV1?
When we are writing initial for initial energy due to the V1 battery and then due to Q and also again QV vice.
I am not understanding what you are saying. CU plus C1 V1 whole square by C1. This is energy. This is the final energy.
For first capacitor, sir.
First capacitor final energy. Similarly, it will be for second and third. So I am just writing for first final energy for the first. What is it? It is just half of Q square by C1 plus half of C1 V1 square plus half of.
Sir, half will not.
Last time half will not be there because. Okay, that I think that half was necessary. Last time it will be Q into
V1.
V1, right? This is a contribution towards due to this basis. How can we interpret this term separately? This is work done by battery, but which battery? It appears like work done by battery. It is not work done by battery actually. It is just increase. We can say this is the contribution due to Q. It is increase in potential energy due to Q. We can say like that only. But I want, why I'm writing these three terms? Because I want to interpret these three terms in this diagram. In this diagram, what would it mean? Think. What would it mean in this diagram? In this diagram, if we are having final energy as this Q into V1 also is coming here. Will we get this from we can think it is like work done by this battery connected in series, right? It is like work done by the battery connected in series. It is appearing like that only. Okay, we can have some interpolation for this term also. Anyway, half of C1 V1 square is initial and finally is this total, but this total is not just addition of half of Q square by C1, so it will be mistake if somebody uses this concept This concept should be used to only do one thing. What? To find out charge supplied.
Charge.
This. Then I think this this was also right or wrong. This will be wrong then. Wait a second. I think delta U changing potential can be write this way directly. Half of CS into V net square. I have to verify it. Let me verify this one for one case only, when there is just one charge capacitor connected in V1 and it is C1 and this is V. What would I get by this if I want to find out the energy? Work done by battery, I will write is equal to change in potential energy plus heat energy dissipated. And work done by battery will be V minus V1 into Q, and that is equal to half of Q into V minus V1 plus heat energy dissipated. All right. What is this thing finally? Q is equal to C1 into V minus V1 square is equal to what is it? Half of C1 into. In fact, I wanted to verify whether U change in U is right or not. Let me just write directly. What I'm expecting the change in U to be this. Is it right or it is wrong? Let us check once. What is change in U? Half of C1 V1 square plus half of C1 V square and minus
minus 2C1. 2C1
Minus
V.
C1 by minus
Minus V1 C1.
minus C1 into V1, right?
V. V also, sir.
C into V1 into V, right? What is C1 into V? C1 into V is the charge supplied here, half of Q into V1 plus half of second term is C1 into V square. What is C1 into V square? C1 into V square is what could I write? This C1 into V1 is not Q1. That is not that. That is just initial potential energy, right? Initial one. What is half of C1 into V square? That is coming out to be C1 into V. I can take as Q into V minus this C1 into V again, Q into V1 we are getting. That is a change in potential energy. What is the change which we are getting from that formula? Q1 by square by C1, half Q square by C1 plus H by S. Final potential energy is this, and initial is half C1 V1 square. If I subtract, then I get just half Q square by C1 plus Q into V1. And here I'm getting different, I think so. This will not work right for. Here we are getting minus.
Sir, there while you have written V minus V1 C1 into half C1 into V minus V1 whole square.
It is V, it is V1 here. So effective is V minus V1. Okay.
Yes, sir.
No, but this is not right. I'm just verifying. I'm thinking this is not right. It seems. Let me not write it then. This is not right, it seems. I don't know. I had derived this result last time and we were getting some wonderful result. That means I will refer that again. Anyway, we are getting work done by battery is coming out to be, this is right only. Work done by battery will be Q into V net, that is equal to CS into V net square. There is nothing wrong in that. This is the work done by the battery. But change in potential energy of the capacitor, we are not getting right from this method. That we are not getting right. Heat energy dissipated, are we getting right or not? That also I have to verify. Let us find out the heat energy dissipated. What would be the heat energy dissipated? Heat energy dissipated will be final total energy stored in the capacitor, which we have written already before. What is the final total energy stored?
Half Q1 square by C1 plus half
This is the final total energy. Let me take it from here. And here I am writing. Final total energy stored is this. So now, work done by battery is equal to final energy minus initial energy plus heat energy dissipated. So what it comes out to be, let us check it once. CS into V net square. Again, work done by, this is also not work done by battery. Actually, work done by battery will be Q into V only. This is just in equivalent diagram. Actual work done by battery will not be this. Actual work done by battery will be what? Actual work done by battery will be just Q into V only. So it would be Q into V only. What we get from that? Then we are getting it as Q into V means Q was nothing but C1. In this case, I am taking one capacitor only, so C1 into V minus V1. That was Q, and that multiplied by V. That multiplied by V is equal to half of Q square by C1 plus half of C1 V1 square plus Q into V1. In fact, right. This Q into V1, I can again write it as minus half of C1 V1 square plus H. What is H coming out to be?
C1 of V1 V minus V1 whole square minus half into Q square by C1.
Have you solved it already? Be
Yes,
careful. Be careful
C1
because
of V minus V1 whole square.
what are you putting Q as? Q you are putting as C1
C1
into
into V minus V1, sir.
that only, right? And we have solved finally. So final result is H is equal to
C1 of V minus V1 whole square minus half Q square by half C1 into V minus V1 whole square into V square. Whole square, sir. Whole square, that's it. No V square, sir. No V. That will be half of we can take.
then it is half of C into V minus V1 square only.
Yes, sir. Satisfied.
That only.
Yes, sir.
So I think this is what I have obtained last time. That other formula may not come out to be same good, but this formula is useful for finding out heat energy dissipated also.
Sir,
This, yes,
Q is the charge flown through the circuit, no, sir.
yes, right.
That is final charge minus initial charge.
Final charge minus initial charge, right? Right only.
Sir,
Yes.
here final charge is CS into V net.
Final charge is not CS into V net. This is a charge flown. Why is final charge CS into V net? This is a charge flown in the circuit. I told you before, I warned you that by this we get small q, but this small q does not represent the final charge. It represents the charge flown. I gave you the expression for final charges also. What is this representing here? These are the final charges.
Final charges, sir.
So what is q small q representing? Small q is just
Charge.
the
flown.
charge supplied, charge flown. Okay.
Yes.
So anyway, are you sure we are getting this result only? I think I derived last time this only. So I think it is right. This only it should be. So what is the heat supplied finally? Heat supplied is coming out to be half of C1 into effective voltage square. Whatever is the effective voltage, that square we are getting.
Sir.
Okay. Or I could write it as, yes.
Work done by battery is equal to Q into VB, no sir? Voltage of battery.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Why this out suddenly? Means what happened?
No, sir. Applied Q into V net, sir. Q into V minus V1.
No, work done by battery will be Q into V only. Okay. So what we are getting finally, we are getting half of C1 into V minus V1 square. I can say it is just V effective finally. It's a means finally we are able to prove this result that if in the equivalent diagram, if I have some voltage, then by taking that voltage V minus V1, if I have here, you know what I have done in the last case, in this particular case, I'm not solving the entire circuit. I'm just assuming if I have just one capacitor only initially charged, then what would be the result for that? We are getting this result. For just one, we are getting that heat supplied is equal to half of C1 into V minus V1 square. What is work done by the battery? Work done by the battery is equal to C1 into V minus V1 into V. That is work done by the battery. So work done by the battery is different. That is not equal to CS into V net square. This will be wrong here. No, it is also right. Wait a second. Is it right? Work done by, no, this is not right. This is wrong. Work done by battery will be what? Work done by battery will be equal to Q into V. It will be just that only. The charge supplied multiplied by V, that is the work done by battery. Okay.
Sure. Charge supplied is CS into V net only. No, sir.
Charge supplied is,
CS into V net.
but it is becoming different. It is CS into V net into V. That is not same as CS into V net B square, V net square.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So work done by battery is this, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
this is the final energy. When we did that, then we got half of C1 into V minus V1 square. So this formula is good to find out heat energy dissipated. Okay. Mainly, if I have to say again, then in nutshell, if I make the equivalent diagram, series equivalent diagram, and here I find out effective V, which is obtained by the actual battery, and the battery is connected in series with it. No, you understood what I am taking here? Means if it is initially charged capacitor, I can take it like uncharged capacitor in series with battery, but I can take it like uncharged capacitor in series with battery to do what? So I have noticed I can use it to find two things at least. One is Q. It works fine. If I find Q, that will be just C into V, CS into V net. The charge supplied, it's not a final charge. And second thing I have observed, it works fine to find out heat energy produced to C in series into V net square. It is fine for these two things. It will not be fine for finding the final potential energy stored. It will not be fine to find out the work done by the battery. Work done by battery is simple. Actually, we don't have to worry. If I know once this is Q, then work done by battery will be Q into V. That also can be obtained. And if somebody is asking what is the change in potential energy, then change in potential energy also we can find out easily. How to find out? Change in potential energy is nothing but work done by battery, which is Q into V minus heat energy dissipated. So actually this equivalent network makes it very easy to arrive at two important results. And from those two important results, we are able to obtain other results very fast, very quickly. Delta U we can obtain very in this. How to obtain the final potential energy of each capacitor, that I have to obtain separately capacitor wise. That will be half of Q, half of final charge. First we have to find final charge for that. And how to find final charge? That I told you separately how to find the final charge. How to find the final charge? Initial charge plus the charge supplied. Initial charge plus the charge supplied. So it will be like this. Final energy will be equal to half of Q plus initial charge on the facing that side. I am taking initial charge where it is facing this positive terminal. If your initial charge was Qi, that I am taking here. That is this Qi. If it is negative, then it will be taken with negative sign also. Half of Q plus Q initial square divided by C initial. That will be U final for ith capacitor. That will be U final for ith capacitor. What will be net U final? Net U final will be sigma half of Q plus Q initial square divided by Ci. So U final also we are able to obtain. Heat energy we are able to obtain. So use the equivalent network to find two things. It will be very fast to find Q and to find H. And to find work done by the battery, this equivalent network will be okay, but don't forget that this V is not the V net here. This V is just V, which is the voltage of the battery. No, it does not. V net includes the voltage of the battery along with the equivalent voltage equivalent battery connected in series, which is actually not existing, which we are just connected to make the equivalent network of a charge capacitor. If it is a charge capacitor, I told you charge capacitor can be assumed to be like a uncharged capacitor in series with a battery. So this battery, when adds to the real battery, then it becomes V net. So work done by battery will not be equal to Q into V net, obviously. It will be just equal to Q into V. Is that okay? Have you understood these points?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why I did all this means we can do it from the fundamental principles also, but it will be very time saving technique. This technique which I am giving you, it is not common technique and you will not find it in the books. So better remember it here only and learn it here only. And in fact, mark this thing because there are certain things which I am only telling. Those are not available in other places. So those things you have to learn more and you have to see that this is the only place where you can refer it back again. In no other place you will find it. Okay. So it will be really a nice technique if you use this, that Q will be this and H will be this, and change in potential energy we can find out work done by battery minus heat energy dissipated finally. All these things we can obtain. And final potential energy if I have to find, or final charges if I have to find, then I have to use this formula. Final potential energy, then I have to use this formula. Okay. All right. So next we have. Yes.
So in HE, there are some one plate, one charge, and other plate.
In HCV there are
Problems like the parallel plate capacitor containing one charge, or Q1 on one plate and Q2 on other plate.
and then connected in parallel.
They said they have given Q1 to one plate and Q2 to one plate, and they asked to.
Oh, I got your point. I got the point. I understood. I will discuss that also. I will discuss that. So you are saying that if I have
Sir, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I'm thinking what should I take first? Let me take this example where, okay, first I'm taking only what is your query. This is one capacitor plate, another capacitor plate. We are giving charge Q1 to this and Q2 to this. First of all, whenever we do like that, then what happens? 50% charge goes to left hand side and 50% goes to right hand side. This we have discussed before already in electrostatics, that when there are two plates facing each other, then what charge appears on this side? It is sigma qi, not two, multiple plates, Q1, Q2, Q3, how many they may be there. So this will be sigma qi by 2. And how to determine the other charges now? Now other charges we can determine because by of conservation of charge. For
Yes.
example, total is Q1. Total is Q1. Here it is sigma qi by 2. Then what will appear on the inner side? I can determine it. Can I determine or not? I can determine this. Let us say it is Q1. And it will be minus Q1.
minus
Then Q2 and it will be minus Q2.
Q2.
And how to get these values now? I will use formula Q1 plus sigma qi by 2 is equal to
Equals to Q1.
Q1. From there I will get small q1. And after getting small q1, I will write formula for Q2 minus Q1 is equal to Q2.
Q2.
Then I will get Q2 is equal to Q2 plus Q1. This we can write by conservation of charge. This I have written conservation of charge applied to the first plate. And this I have written by conservation of charge applied to the second plate. Okay. And why these are equal and opposite? Why these facing plates are always having equal and opposite charges? We know this very well, right? These will have equal and opposite charges only. So this is how our charges distribution will be obtained. Now after that, if you connect it again to a battery, let us say this charge distribution was given, and after that what I did, I have a battery also along with it, V voltage with some switch which is waiting to be closed. It is open yet. What we are going to do now? We will just treat these like capacitors. So there are two capacitors according to me. And those two capacitors are like initially charged capacitors. But what initial charge you should take in the capacitors? Take it which is given on the inner sides, facing sides of the plates. Don't worry about what is the charge on the outer side. That doesn't play any role. What that outer charge will do, that outer charge will just go to the earth if you ground this circuit. If you ground the circuit, if you make it earth, then this outer charge will vanish. That will go to 0. But the inner charges, these will be these charges which are on the capacitors. How these will vary? These will vary according to the normal method which we have followed so far. It is Q1, let us say it is Q2. Was it Q2 in this side or it was yes, Q2 here only? Q1, Q2. Then now assume this is a battery and then there is a switch. This is the equivalent diagram. Don't worry about the outer charge. The charge which is inside, that is contributing to the field in between the plates of the capacitors. Okay, so that can be regarded as the charge stored in the capacitor. Now you tell me, what will be the equivalent diagram? Equivalent diagram will become here if it is C1 and it is C2. How to get C1, C2? If it is plate given and it is given as distance D1 and that is given as distance D2, then C1 will be equal to epsilon naught A by D1 and C2 will be equal to epsilon naught A by D2, where A is the area of the plates. We can get in this way. So now after that, series equivalent C1, C2 upon C1 plus C2. What next? I have to connect two batteries, one Q by C1 and another Q1 by C1 and another Q2 by C2, and these total with V volt here. What it will be useful to find out? It will be useful to find out the charge flown in the circuit. Let the charge flown in the circuit be Q. Then what is Q coming out to be? Q is nothing but effective battery is V minus Q1 by C1 minus Q2 by C2, that is effective voltage, into series equivalent C1, C2 upon C1 plus C2. That is the charge supplied. Once we know the charge supplied, what is the heat energy dissipated? Heat energy dissipated also we can obtain by the formula half into C series into V net square, which will be equal to half of C series is C1, C2 upon C1 plus C2 into V net is V What is V net? V minus Q1
V1
by C1 minus Q2 by C2 whole square. This is the heat supplied, heat energy dissipated. What will be the change in potential energy if you want to find? Change in potential energy, we can find out work done by battery will be equal to Q into V, and work done by battery minus heat energy dissipated will be equal to change in potential energy. Change in potential energy we can find by another way also. We can find out the final energy stored. What is the final energy stored? Half of C1 into final energy stored. Final energy stored for the first capacitor. Final energy stored for the first capacitor will be equal to U1 final and U2 final is equal to half of Q plus C1. What was initially Q1?
V1.
Q plus initial charge was Q1. So directly write Q1 Q plus Q1 whole square by C1, and the second one was Q plus Q2 whole square by C2. We know the final energies. Initial energies also we know. Initial 1 for initial and 2 initial, those also we know. What are the initial energies? Half of Q square by Q1 square by C1 and half of
Q2 square.
Q2 square by C2. Then we can get the change in potential energy by adding these and then subtracting. Or another way will be work done by battery. This I am leaving as a task for you to determine whether these give us same result or not. Work done by battery is equal to what? Heat energy dissipated plus change in potential energy. This is also method to get this. So this is how we will do. Nilkantha, I don't know whether your doubt was clarified in this or not.
No, sir, it was different.
You said that they are giving initial charges on the plates. I did same thing only. What else?
They have given initial charges to the plate and they asked potential, so they have given capacitance not connected to that.
Then it is much easier. That part we have already done in this. Without that, we could not even go so far. Already this, what is this Q1 by C1? And what is Q2 by C2? That is the potential of those, potential difference across those, Q1 by C1 and Q2 by C2. I told you, assume the charge which is on the inner face of this plate, that is the charge stored in the capacitor, we can think. So Q1 by C1 and Q2 by C2, that is it. That is the potential difference.
Understood.
Okay.
Sir,
Without, yes.
when connected to battery, what will happen to the charge sigma QI by 2?
This will remain as it is. Nothing will happen to them.
Okay.
They will only go to the ground. They will only go to the ground if I connect to the earth also. Then this will vanish. This will also become 0. The other will also become 0. Otherwise, they will stay as it is. Nothing happens to them. If I connect any one part of the circuit, it is not necessary I have to connect this part or this part or this part. Connect any one part to the ground, then this will vanish. This can go to the ground. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Sir, reason for the
Reason for?
why they become 0 when we connect to ground?
This reason I explained before. I am explaining again and learn it now forever. When I ground it, here fields cannot exist because at infinity 0 potential, here also 0 potential. So fields cannot exist from here to infinity. This will have tendency to go to the earth.
Outside charges should be 0. Field is 0.
Huh?
As field is 0 outside, charges on the outside should be 0.
Something like that only.
Okay.
Okay. This is time to vanish to the ground. Next we have one other example that is in my mind is if I have charges initially charged but connected in parallel. Last time I took initially charged but connected in series. Now I'm taking initially charged and connected in parallel. And one more thing. Today this I don't know. I'm not satisfied with my own explanation of this equivalent network. Last year I have derived it in a better way. I will send you that also. You can add that in your notes. Okay. Last time I have derived in general. Today I have just verified it, but not derived it. Last time I have actually derived it. Okay. Today I just verified the result.
Sir. Sir. Sir.
Sir, time up.
Sir, time up.